Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, July 12th, 2021. We're in the first day of the trading week, and we are in the last hour of the current trading day. The last hour is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions. I mention this each day, but I think it is worth repeating. I believe that end of day trading is one of the best ways to go about doing your swing trading, because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they take control away, the price control away from the day traders and the algorithms. I consider them to be the smartest money on the street, and therefore the closing levels of the day I consider the most valid prices to make by buying and selling decisions from. So thank you all for coming today. I hope you all had a nice weekend, had fun, were safe, enjoyed life a little bit, maybe did a little chart study, maybe did a little reading of some good trading books. Always a good thing to do over the weekend. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate spending your time here. I hope that the time that you are spending here is helping you with your trading and your investing. So currently the Dow Jones is up 106 points, up 0.31%. The NASDAQ is up 21 points, up 0.14%. And the S&P is up 12.78 points, up 0.29%. So green across the board on the indexes. So here's the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we are going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. Did have a couple decent day trades today on Southwest Airlines on Love, and so I will share that with you in a bit. After that, we're going to go over to the board. We're going to take a look at my students' current positions, and we'll go through each one. We'll see how those are doing. I do see a lot of green over there. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important skill you can ever learn in trading is the ability to manage your emotions. And if you manage your emotions, you can manage your plan. Easier said than done, however. So we will spend a few minutes on that. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. I have three requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First, I need a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Second, I need to have a good risk to reward ratio of at least 2 to 1 based upon strong support below me and strong and likely resistance above me. I have to make sure that I have a risk to reward ratio of at least 2 to 1 so that I can make that asymmetrical math work in my favor. And then lastly, I have to make sure I have a complete trading plan. And by that, I mean the following. I'm position sizing based upon the current volatility of the market. I know what my emergency stop is. I know what my maximum allowed dollar stop is. I know where my end of day stop is. I know where my intraday profit targets are. I know where my overhead resistance levels are. And I have a trailing stop protocol or plan in place so that if I have a nice trade and starts making money, that I don't give it all back. That's like one of the worst feelings. So that is what I consider a complete trading plan. Regardless of the type of strategy that you start with, you have to, in my opinion, factor in all of those things. So based upon those three requirements, I'm going to go through the end-of-day candidates that I have found, and I have found some. And so we'll go through each one. We'll take a look at the risk to reward ratios. We'll look at the multiple time frames. We'll look for the confluences. And if I find something that looks good at the end of the day, I will go ahead and buy it right before the close. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer. If you need clarification on anything, please let me know. I'm happy to clarify. If you have any stock symbols that you would like to get my opinion on, I'm happy to do that for you. Just put them in the live stream, put an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive, and I will do my best to get to it before the close. And then lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits for me today that they would like me to update on the board, just go ahead and let me know after the market closes. If you could please wait till after the market closes so I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, pressure is off, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll spend as much time as we need to get them all updated for you. Okay, so that's the plan for today. I am going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll see you back here in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look and see who's here today. Gary is here. Nice to see you, Gary. Hope you're having a good day. Kamal is here. Hello, traders. Hey, buddy, good to see you. I'm going to call you after the close, give you an update. But thank you for everything that you do for this channel every day, Kamal. I really appreciate it. I know everyone else does. Johnson is here. Hi, Greg and all. Hello, Johnson. Good to see you. Paxton is here. Hi, everyone. Good to see you, Packy. Michael Wilkinson, a.k.a. Lova, is here as well. Nice to see you, Michael. Anya T. Hi, Greg and traders. Hello, Anya. Hope I pronounced that right. Nice to have you here. Steve Burns is here. Hello, traders. Hey, Steve. Good to see you. Thank you as always for coming. Always appreciate you being here and spending time with us. I really do appreciate it, and I know everyone else does as well. Christopher Hitchin is here. Hey, Christopher. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Ava, happy Monday, everyone. Good to see you, Ava. Hope you are having a good day. Timothy, hello, Greg and everyone. Hey, Tim, good chatting with you earlier. Tim and I chat about sports, and sometimes it's a nice break from the market. Michael Martin, good to see you, Michael. Really good lesson yesterday. Michael is one of my students, and really, really good one. I'll tell you what, he really is doing well in this course. So if you're out there on the road, hope you're driving safely today. David is here. Hi, Greg and group. Good to see you, Mr. David. Hope you're having a good day. Johan, Captain Johan is here. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday to you, Johan, and good chatting with you earlier. Waterbender, hi, I am Katara. Is that correct? Did I pronounce that correct? Waterbender, good to see you. Haven't seen you before. Appreciate you being here. If there's anything I can help you with, let me know. David says, I entered snow today for a intraday when it bounced off the 200 SMA and also middle of the big bar on Friday. I thought you would have liked that setup. Well, let's take a look. I do. So what David's talking about is this big up bar. We had a retracement not only back to the halfway of the bar, but also to the 200-day moving average. And so I guess you bought around like 261 or something like that, Dave. Very nice. That's how you do it. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, Frank. Good to see you. Appreciate everything that you do for the channel with your poems and your witticisms. I don't even know if that's a word, but always great to have you here, Frank. Thank you so much. Waterbender says, yes, Steve Burns recommended your channel. Oh, great. Fantastic. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. If there's anything I can help you with there, you just please let me know, okay? Okie dokie. Well, let's get to it. ALK, Jonathan, Gary, David, Tracy, and Paxton, and myself did buy Alaska Airlines with the confluence of signals of the under 30, over 30, intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average, plus a V1 and a rejection of the negative third ATR channel. 4 different indicators here. Bought this a couple days ago at 57.77. Today it's 59.66, up 0.47% so far on the day. No profit targets today, but this trade's so far up 3.18%. CLB, all right. Gary, Tracy, Paxton, David, Ava, Michael, and I all bought Core Laboratory CLB back here on the 7th with an intraday rejection of the 100-day moving average, an intraday rejection of the negative third ATR channel, and under over 30, and a V1, another confluence of signals, bought at 36.92. It's currently 36.47. It is up on the day, but down about 1.4% so far on the trade. A lot of sideways motion. This will probably start moving one way or the other. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's down or up, and I'm pretty certain it is going to start to trend one way or another after this sideways motion. CMG has just been a monster of all monsters. I bought CMG all the way back here with the intraday rejection of the 250 and a V1. I bought it at 1343.05. It moved 1.5 ATRs for my entry, then had a close below the previous day's low. I sold half, but the other half has just gone up like gangbusters, up 1.46% today. Did hit a profit target at 1606. So far, this particular trade, entry to current price, up over 17%. Pretty amazing trade. Really, really pretty amazing trade. CMI. Frank and I did buy CMI. Frank bought a half position. I bought CMI on Friday with a higher low, close back over the 200-day. You can see earlier in the day we came down, tested, reversed back up. So bought this at 242.49. It's 243.14. It's up 0.16% today and up about the same amount on the trade. GDX. Gary, Tracy, Paxton, and I did buy GDX back here on the 30th of June. Under 30, over 30 in a V2. Bought it at 33.99. Moved up nicely. Did take some profits. I always scale out of a percentage of my position as it moves up. Came back down a few days ago. It was a little scary. Did hold the 30 RSI. Was back up on Friday. Was up earlier today. No profit targets, unfortunately. And right back to about break even right now on this trade. Down on the day, but about break even on the day. Or on the trade, excuse me. Goldman Sachs. I did buy Goldman Sachs. Am I the only one? Yeah. Goldman Sachs back here with a 1030 EMA crossover. Initially moved up nicely, took some profits as we went up. Came back down. We closed below both the 10 and the 30. That was my signal to get out of half. Went back down, but the cross under did not happen, so I kept it. And look at this, last couple days up nicely, up 2.75% today. Did hit 3 profit targets. And this particular trade is up 3.55% from entry to current price. Earnings are tomorrow morning, however, so I will be selling Goldman Sachs today, but we did have a nice run up into earnings. So I will be selling Goldman Sachs today, getting rid of the position and locking in profits because earnings are tomorrow morning and I do not hold through earnings. SPY. Well, this is so close. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning. This happened to be on a Friday. I bought it at 435.52. It opened a little lower, 435.38. So did take a small loss on that one today. I will be buying that again at the close as per usual. And then VIX. I did buy VIX along with Tracy and Paxton with this V2 false breakout to the downside. Bought it at 28.91. Moved up strongly. Went above the 50 RSI and then below 50 RSI. I did lock in half profits here at about 34.17. Friday, we had a close below the previous day's low after moving 1.5 ATRs from entry. So I sold another half of a half. Right now, I have a quarter position left, and if it gets back down to break even, then I will just get out. But really nice trade all in all because I got out of half here, quarter here, or another half of the half here, and then the worst, that I should do on this last quarter is just break even. But that first move up there was a big, big, big move. So anyway, that's what's going on with VIX. I did have some day trades today on Southwest Airlines. Let me show you. Let's see what's going to be the best way for me to show you this. All right. So the last trade, I've had 2 trades, but I did have a return to value V2 false breakout to the downside that I bought here at 52.74. Next bar moved up nicely. This is on the 5 minute. Sold half at 52.80 and had another big, super big up move. I always take profits and sell portions when we have big up bar like moves like this. Sold the other half of a half at 52.90, moved 1.5 ATRs from entry. Then we had a close below the previous day's low. Sold the other half of a half at 52.77, and because we moved 1.5 ATRs from entry when it got back down to my entry point, that last eighth I just got out of. So in at 52.74, out at 52.77, out at 52.80, and out at 52.90. That was the second trade. But the first trade that I want to show you, let's see, is the chart a little bit easier to read? It is. This is similar to what David told me, just told us. Today, when I was looking at the day trade, we came all the way back to the 200-day moving average. So you can see it did back, it closed above, came back tested it, and then bounced off. So I looked at the larger time frame, which is the day, and when it was down near the 200-day moving average, I went in intraday to look for a trade because I knew on the larger time frame it should have some support, and that's exactly what happened. And so keep in mind now, on the daily, we were right above the 200-day moving average. So when I went intraday, I looked for a signal. So on the daily, it should have some support there. Intraday, I bought this intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average and the negative third ATR, intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average and an under over 30. I bought it at 52.09. Next bar, moved up strongly. I sold half at 52.39, had another big up bar, sold at 52.58, moved 1.5 ATRs from entry. Then I have a close below the previous day's low. I got out of the other half of a half of a half. And so I had an eighth left. And then as we moved up here, we got right back up into resistance. I sold. So really nice trade here using two time frames, looking at the daily for the major support, looking for intraday for the tactical moves of placing the trade. 52.09, out at 52.39, out at 52.50, out at 52.58, and out at 52.89. So two really good day trades today, both on Southwest Airlines. Kamal says, I like that name, Waterbender. I do too. Kamal says, I'm going to name myself Chartbender. Perfect. David on his trade bought it 260.34, sold half already, planning to keep the other half. Excellent. Excellent. Steve says, great to see you, Waterbender. Tim says, LOL. I like both names. Steve says, I love it, Kamal. That's a new one. David says that would be a really nice, big power to have. Steve says the other one was Price Bender. Steve says both 5-star usernames. Price Bender, done. Oh, nice. Okay, that's going to take me a minute to get used to, Kamal. That would take me 18 hours to figure out how to change that. Gary says, Price Bender, too funny. My lord, the CMG is trucking along. I know. Luckily, I'm in it. Thankfully. I mean, is it ever going to go down? Probably because I kind of want it to, because I've been looking at it for so long. I don't know why. I have the long positions up 1.48. Tim says WW has a V1. Weight Watchers, huh? Yeah, it does. Not too bad. I mean, it's back over the 100-day moving average as well. You know, this big bar here kind of scares me. The negative 180, we're not in the value zone, so it's a lower low. That kind of scares me as well, just to be honest. Excuse me. All right, let's head over to your trades. Here we go. Jonathan, nice trade. Under 30, over 30, V2 at 15.59. On SSRM has moved up nicely, had a little bit of a pullback, back up on Friday, down a little bit. So up on the day, down on the day, but for Jonathan, this is up about 1.89%. So way to go. Pager Duty, Ava, Tracy and Paxton did buy Pager Duty with this bullish engulfing bar in V1, bought it at 42.80. Friday moved up, went higher today, and then had a bit of a reversal bar down. So it is down today, but it is still up on the trade. PKI. Oh, okay. No one's in PK anymore. Well, I am, but on the weekly. Steve, nice trade on FCX and under 30, over 30. Bought at 34.67. We're 36.61. It's up 0.30%. This particular trade for Steve up 5.35%. So way to go, Steve. Beautiful. Yeti, Tracy and Paxton did buy Yeti with a 520 cross at 92.90. It's currently 93.19. Is up on the day and up on the trade. CSIQ having a nice day for Kamal. Kamal bought this with a 520 crossover at 40.34. Moved up very, very strongly, very quickly. Came back, tried to rally, came back down. But nice day today, up 5.37%. And Kamal is up on this trade 6.09%. So way to go. STX, Tracy and Paxton, and Ava did buy the higher low V2 on STX at 87.90. It's currently 88.97. It's up 1.15% so far on the day and up about that much as well on the trade. Alibaba. Steve had a beautiful trade on Alibaba with an under 30, over 30, bought it at 199.94. It is currently 205.55. It is down a little bit on the day, but Steve on the trade is up 2.69%. So way to go there. Boeing. Oh, this one. Okay. Kamal bought Boeing on the daily at 239.50. It is down a little bit, so that trade is a little down. Gary, Jonathan, and Ava also bought Boeing, but on the weekly bars with this false breakout to the downside in V1, right about the same price, 239.50. So both the dailies and the weeklies down a little bit on the day and also down on the trade. Jonathan, look at this. Holy hamburgers. Holy hamburgers, everybody. If there was ever a time today to say holy hamburgers, it was today. Jonathan did buy this on Friday at 177. It is currently 183.86. It's up 3.9%. So beautiful, huge, big up bar for Jonathan. So congrats. Oracle, Ava had a beautiful trade on Oracle. Fractal breakout, bought at 79.50. Thing has moved up just tremendously. It is down just a little bit today, but Ava is up on this trade over 9%. And then Angie, Steve, Tracy, and Paxton did buy Angie with an under 30, over 30. Bought it at 12.24. It's 12.25, so it is down 2% on the day, but it is up 1 penny on the trade. So not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right. Frank has a poem for us. Let's get into it, shall we? Red means stop and green says go. We all know the rules that make traffic flow. Stocks have hills, valleys, and plateaus, but it's staying the course that makes a trader grow. Wow. Really nice, Frank, as always. Red means stop and green says go. We all know the rules that makes traffic flow. Stocks have hills, valleys, and plateaus, but it's staying the course that makes a trader grow. That is true. It's staying the course that makes a trader grow. That's what it's all about, is following your plan, staying the course, good risk to reward ratios, being patient with your waiting for your setup. That's what it's all about. Let me pull this up here and let me put this over there, and then this guy over here, and then back to here. Okay, sorry. All right. Frank says, nice day for Tesla. Big day for Tesla. Bounced off that 200-day moving average. Seemed a little chasey to me, but listen, it took off without anyway. getting back up here into resistance up here in this range. So be interesting to see if it can go and break through that. Who knows? Okay. So listen, everybody, before we start looking at end of day trades, before we start looking for our 3 requirements of what are they? That's right. Confluence, combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames, good risk to reward ratio of at least 2 to 1, and a complete trading plan, which includes adjusting your position size for volatility, what's your maximum allowed loss, what's your emergency stop, where's your end of day stop, where your intraday profit targets, where's overhead resistance, do you have a trailing stop method in place, right? That's what I'm talking about. Before we get to that, let's change gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology. You know, I have my favorite channels out there, both on Twitter and on Facebook that I like to look at. I like to pull good sayings from. Of course, you know this, it's no secret. Stephen Burns is absolutely my favorite poster on both Facebook and Twitter, and he's right here in the chat with us today, which is kind of nice because when I talk about his post, he usually adds a few cents in here as well. But this is from Steve over at the New Traders, Rich Traders page over on Facebook. It's a page, it's a group of serious traders. Steve's there, Kamal's there, Tom Basso's there, Mark Minervini's there. It's a good channel on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you should go over and apply to that channel. But this one's pretty simple. I really like it. What profitable trading really looks like from a pie chart? Well, waiting is the majority. Entries and exits, a thin little slice. And it's really true, everybody. This is what it's about. It's about being patient. If you read market wizards, you read trading books, they will all tell you it's about being patient, being patient, being patient, waiting for that good setup to come, not force it. I had another saying the other day that says, if the trade isn't obvious, it's obviously not a good trade. I love that. But it's about waiting and being patient. Warren Buffett talks about the 3 strikes rule. He says, like, there's no 3 strikes rule in baseball. 3 strikes, you're out in baseball. You can't just sit there and wait for the perfect pitch, because if you get a strike, you get 3 of those, you're out. But Warren Buffett says there is no 3 strikes rule in baseball, in the market. So therefore you can just sit there and wait until the perfect pitch comes over the plate, right? And so think a little bit more about waiting and waiting and waiting and stalking and waiting and looking for the right trade before you hit that buy, before you hit the buy button. And really, entries and exits, I mean, they're important, but they're a small portion of it. It's really about waiting and being patient. So thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. That's short and to the point, but full of value. Steve says LEGR blockchain ETF currently has a 520 crossover. LEGR. LEGR, Ledger. Oh, yes, it does. No, I don't see it actually. LEGR. I don't see the 520, Steve. My 5 is 4220 and it's 4227, so I don't see that. This is, maybe we're looking at different symbol, and this only has 23,000 shares traded, so really quite not quite enough for me. Johan says, saw the post by Steve as well. Gold, 100%. Steve says, doing nothing when there is nothing to do is an underappreciated skill of profitable traders. I could not agree more. Kamal says, based on Steve's chart, Buffett has probably spent less than 1% of this life placing trades. That's true. It's about holding trades, right? Johan says, productive inactivity. Oh, that's an interesting concept. Productive inactivity. That should be a bumper sticker, or at the very least, a t-shirt. What do you think? All right. So listen, before we start looking, let me look at current trades, right? Always more important to deal and manage the current trades you have. Alaska Airlines Group doing great off this intraday rejection of the 200, up today, up nicely on the trade. CLB, slightly underwater on the trade, slightly, but holding the end of the day stops, and green today, so no change here. CMG just goes up forever. It's amazing. I guess glad for that. Has moved up nicely. Did hit the one profit target here today. It's a 79.24 RSI, unreal. So I'm just waiting for a close below the 70 RSI, or more likely just to close below the 5 EMA. That would get me out of the trade as well. CMI doing fine, up on the day, holding the end of day stop at the 200, so it doesn't look like any change there. GDX, never moved 1.5 ATRs from entry, so I'm still holding GDX. This is now underwater on the trade. Goldman Sachs, I am selling that at the end of the day. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to sell that now just so I don't have to worry about it. And I'm selling that because earnings are tomorrow. Do not want to hold through earnings, so I'm just going to lock in profits right now on Goldman Sachs and just be done with it. That was one heck of a nice trade. All right, so I did sell lock-in profits there that we bought there at 368. So out of Goldman Sachs, SPY, little small loser today on the SPY. We'll buy this again at the close. And then VIX, just holding this until it comes back to my break even. And if it goes up, great. If it comes back to my break even, I'll just hit the break even and that will be it. So anyway, all in all here, pretty good day with the positions and good day trading as well on Love. Steve says SE currently has a 520 crossover. Yes, it does. There you go. There's the 520 crossover on C Limited. I assume Steve backtests that. Look at the weekly, look at the daily. So, yep, 520 crossover. Frank says, I tried productive inactivity growing up, minus the trader part, but it didn't work. Yeah, that wouldn't work with my mom either. She would not play that game. Steve says, Frank, haha. All right. All right, well, let's take a look at some potential end of days. I don't have a lot of them today, actually. So if anyone has anything else they'd like to look at, let us take, let's look. FedEx has a 520 crossover, 296.82 to 296.73. This does backtest positively, does not backtest that well. We have rejected the 50-day moving average, which really is not a consideration, specifically looking for a crossover, but I can't help but see that. It is rejecting the 50, and it is also kind of ran into resistance here at this previous high where we previously ran into resistance. So it does backtest well. I don't think I'm going to take this. I don't like the big move that's already happened to make the 520 cross. So I'll probably pass on FedEx. XLU does have a 520 crossover. I like that we've moved sideways, 64.51 to 64.48. So XLU does qualify for me. I did backtest it. It does backtest well. Also, Disney has a 520 crossover. That is way too high. If we get a 520 crossover, the maximum limit I'll buy it for me is at the second ATR channel. Right now we're at the third ATR channel, and we know what percentage of prices fail there. About 92% of prices fail there. Yeah, there's an 8% chance we can keep going, but I don't like the odds of 8%. I'd rather take the 92. So I will definitely not be buying Disney today based upon that. Gold. Gold is definitely in play for me here for a potential higher low V1. Yes, Friday's low of the bar was 168.66. We have washed it out thoroughly. The only thing is, for this to be a valid V1, I need to close above Friday's close. Friday's close was at 169.21. We're at 169.06, so it would have to close over 169.21 in order for me to take this higher low V1. So that one still is a potential. WBA, earlier in the day, this was an under 30, over 30, and an under the negative third, over the negative third. But now it has given back quite a bit. It is back under the 30 RSI. I would consider buying it if it closes over the 30. So we'll keep that on the potential list. And then last but not least is XLF. XLF does backtest well with the 520 crossover. The crossover hasn't happened. So really, right now, I'm looking at XLU with the 520 crossover, probably my favorite. GLD, I would buy this with the higher low V1 if it closes above 169.21. And WBA, I would consider that if it closes above 30 RSI. So that's about where I'm at on that. Steve says, while Richard Branson made it to space yesterday, the ticker symbol SPCE crashed today after their secondary stock offering was announced. How about that? You think that was on purpose that they announced it at the same time? I probably would think so. And look at space today, down 17.67. It's moving too fast. Almost down 18%. Back in the value zone though. So for those of my students, you know what I'd be thinking. We were above the value, we're in the value, need to move sideways for a couple days, then look for a V1 or a V2. That's what I'm looking for. Don't know if we're going to get it, but that's definitely the setup for me. So, all right, listen, hang tight for a sec. I have to run and do something. Give me about 30, 35, 40 seconds at the max, and I will be right back. Okay. Wow, look at Virgin Galactic go. Crazy, everybody. Craziness. So yeah, at this point in the market, I just don't see that many potential entries today. It seems like I've been looking all day. I just really couldn't find any. Let's see. Does anyone else have some thoughts? Anything else that they would like to look at? Spice equals sold the news. That's right. The old saying, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. Tried and true. You see it over and over. Frank says, fun fact. Henry Ford, father of the automobile, is also father of the charcoal briquette, and it only comes in black. Am I missing something on this one? Henry Ford, father of the automobile, is also father of the charcoal briquette. How do you say that? Charcoal brick. And it only comes in black. Ah, interesting. Water says, do you like pins? That's Pinterest. No, I do not like pins. I like it in a big sense, in that we were above the value zone. Now we're back into the value zone. I'd like to see this move sideways, Waterbender. I'd like to see it move sideways, show that it has some support, show that there's an equal amount of buyers and sellers, show that there's some price equilibrium there. But I need to see that sideways motion to prove to me that it's not just going to continue down. I mean, I would probably take a shot at Pinterest here with this confluence of the 200-day moving average and the negative third ATR channel if it got down into this area. If it keeps going down, that would be a good level to buy off of with probably a decent risk to reward ratio depending on the price action. Alternatively, now that we're back into the value zone, if we could just move sideways, look for a V1 or V2, that's where I'd get in. But remember, the key, everyone, is to buy in value, sell above value. Don't do the opposite and buy above value and then get stopped out in value. That's the wrong way. It's backwards. We want to buy in value, sell above value, or buy below value, sell in value. That's what I learned from Dr. Alexander Elder, and it has been really, really good advice for me, and has worked out well. Steve says, Henry Ford said, you could have any color you wanted as long as it was black. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Let's take a quick look over at Bitcoin. Showed some progress and some potential with the intraday rejection of the 250, held above, moved up, but in the back down now on this particular chart, potential of losing the 250-day moving average. The bars on the charts that I trade on Bitcoin close at 6 p.m. So if it intraday rejects the 250, I will probably buy it again. If it closes below, I will not, and I'll look for the next bus stop below, which would be the 30 RSI, or alternatively, if we move back above the 250. So let's look at XLU. XLU does have the 520 crossover. Currently 64.51 to 64.49, so that currently is valid. MACD is positive. I like the little sideways motion here before the crossover happened. Let's look over at the weekly. Weekly's in the value zone here. Don't like this big bar over here, but it is in the value zone. Very likely we could go back up here to like 66. So this is probably my favorite one on the day so far. Gold. Looking for that higher low V1, not quite there yet. It would have to close above 169.21. And WBA, interested in WBA with an under 30, over 30, but right now it's back under 30. So that's not so hot tamale. I'm not interested in that as long as unless it closes above the 30 RSI. Alternatively, if we came down tomorrow, rejected the 200-day moving average, I would pick some up there with a good risk to reward ratio, even though it's under 30 RSI, because I would have the 200-day underneath me. Gary wants to look at RBLX. I mean, we had a false breakout to the downside in V2 a couple days ago. You know, this is the washout bar, so I would put my stop at about halfway. You can see it came down, respected the halfway mark, and bounced. Would I get into it here right now? Probably not, Gary. I don't like the selling that happened up here in this wick. Doesn't mean it can't be overcome, but I think it's less likely. So no, I don't really see anything there. Steve says copper, socks, and gold moving higher here. So I have gold on my potential. Steve says RBLX is close for me as well. So Steve's just looking for the 520 crossover for better confirmation. Johnson says Tilray potential V1 with a second test and bounce of the 200 SMA on the support of the 50 SMA on the weekly. Yep, up on the day, and you are correct, Johnson. You know, we had an intraday rejection of the 200. We came back and tested it, which I like. This is a lower low, closed back above the 200, and now we've come back down. We tested and bounced. I do like that. Is it enough for me to buy there? You know, it would be okay. I'd like to see it get above that 5 EMA for starters. But yes, I like the intraday rejection of the 200. I like the pullback and tested the 200 and the bounce off of that. That is positive for me. Kamal. That is Kamal, right? You can't just go changing names on me, Kamal. Willy-nilly like that. Take me a minute. The Ensign group, yep, we've been talking about this in the group for a while. I mean, look, we came into the value zone. We made a lower high. We never washed out the lows. We made another lower high. Did we wash out the low here? 86.58. And we got to 86.55. So technically we did wash out the low. It is a V1. It's pretty strong on the day, but me personally, I would not buy this over the 1 ATR channel. Change Healthcare. Yeah, I mean, did we really go under the 30 though? No, we didn't. We got to 30.43. So it's really not, and I don't really see anything else here. Well, it is a confluence of the under 30 or near bounce of the 30 and the -2 ATR channel. Let's look at the weekly. I'll bet you that's coming down to like 22.29. I would rather wait and buy this at some support on the weekly. Right now, we've lost support of the 20. I'd like to look for those confluence of support. No, I would not buy that there. I always feel like such a Scrooge. I want to say yes to everything, but I have my morals, everybody. I have my morals. I have to give you my best advice, and that is my best advice. So, all right. Let's gander over back here at gold. Gold's a potential for me. I probably should find my position sheet as we're getting close to the end of the day here. Okay, well, 7-8 points away. XLF does not have the 520. Disney is a monster mouse. So XL, let's see, WBA, we holding above 30? Maybe, but I think I like, so XLU gold and WBA. XLU. Gold and WBA. So XLU is my favorite. Gold hasn't triggered. WBA has untriggered. And by the way, I did get out of Goldman Sachs. Luckily on a nice big up day, but earnings are tomorrow, so I'm the only one in Goldman Sachs. So I'll just take that one off. What do you think? Thank you, Goldman Sachs. It was a pleasure doing business with you. and everything else looks fairly good. Ava wants to look at DVA. Yeah, I think I tried to backtest this. I don't know, maybe if Steve or Kamal would have the ability to backtest this on the 520 crossover. I tried, but I don't have it available, so I can't really comment on that unless I see the backtest results. Fractal, you are correct. It is a fractal. Here's the high with 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right. So that is correct. It is a fractal and a 520 crossover. That is true. Let's look over at the weekly. Weekly looks pretty good. Triggered a V2. It looks pretty good. I'd feel better though if the 520 crossover was positive. Hog, Harley Davidson. Yeah, I mean, well, we didn't have a V2 yesterday. We continued up here, but we came from a lower low. My best analysis on this, Ava, would be that, you know, we close below the -1 ATR channel, rally into the value zone. I'd look for a pullback and a back test of that -1 ATR channel, look for a higher low V1, V2, and that's where you might get the nice leg up. Wes, hey, how you doing, Wes? Is that like Wes Anderson, one of my favorite directors? I love Wes Anderson movies. Okay. Who knows? Maybe that really is Wes Anderson. That'd be cool. Clover Health. Not too bad. Bullish engulfing bar. False breakout to the downside. V1 gives you a good risk to reward ratio. It's a $9 stock. Not crazy about that. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's in the value zone. I could see, just you have to decide what your stop's going to be. Is your stop going to be closed below halfway the washout bar, or is it going to be closed below the 100? But yeah, I mean, you could definitely do worse than that. And Gary, MCK, is that McKesson? Yeah, I don't really see. I mean, it's almost everything I've looked at today feels like a stretch. Like, I haven't seen anything that's just really, really, really like, wow, you know. Dr. Elder says a trade should jump off the screen at you. You shouldn't have to get your protractor out and your ruler out and your microscope and, you know, kind of try to make something that's not something. But that's how I feel about a lot of these setups today. If I can call them setups, that's even a stretch. So gold does not look like it's triggering. WBA went, it's back over 30. Let's look at the monthly. Monthly, nice uptrend back in the value zone. I like that in general. Weekly, it's not really holding anything though. I'd like it better if it was holding some kind of support on the daily or on the weekly as well, which it's not. So in under 30, over 30, it's okay. But, you know, I do like to look at the weeklies to get that double confirmation. So CMI doing well. All right, we have 5 minutes to go. So for me right now, overnight SPY trade, sold Goldman Sachs because of earnings tomorrow, and XLU. That's what I'm looking at. Frank says it feels like a window shopping day. That is the perfect way to put it. No real sales, no Nordstrom big sale. Nigma, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world, my friend. Hello, everyone. Stocks are a wealth of information today. Very good. Oh, Steve is long SE at 275.35. So let's take a look at that. So the 520 crossover, he got it on a down day, which is kind of nice sometimes. So very nice, Steve. 520 crossover. An LEGR. And when I look at LEGR, I'm not showing the 520 crossover, but Steve is long there at 42.46. So Steve's long SE at 275.35 with the 520 crossover, and he's also long LEGR at 42.46, also with the 520 crossover. All right, I'm going to go long XLU here with the 520 crossover. Surprise, surprise. All right, so I'm done. I am done, except for my what do you call it? My overnight SPY trade. What's Apple doing today? Did it go positive? No, it did not. Mr. Lead Video Snow. We talked about that earlier. Came back tested the 200-day moving average at the halfway. I would not buy up here. I think where David bought was fine because of the risk to reward ratio. Ava says, is there a 2 or 3 times leverage for XLU? That I do not know. All right, we have 1 minute to close. CMG making a high on the day. Wow. About 30 seconds to go. All right. That is it for today. Let's take a look, see where I got everything. I bought XLU at 64.81. And I bought overnight SPY trade at 437.08. All right, so SPY trade just keeps on going up, everybody. It's crazy. All right, 437.08. And XLU did not buy gold. And XLU I bought at 64.81, exactly where it is. 64.81. Oh, I nailed it. All right, there we go. So if any of my students have any if they have any end of day trades for me, if they'd like me to update something on the board, if you could please let me know, I would appreciate it. Just put it in the live stream and we will get to it momentarily. But before we do, I just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I believe I do a really good job at it. I teach a really good course. It's a one-on-one course, just you and I, 15 total hours, 5 sessions, 3 hours each session. I teach you step by step all 5 of the different trading approaches that I use step by step. So if you're a beginner or an advanced, doesn't matter. The course will make you a better trader. You're going to learn some good strategies. You're going to learn how to position size. You're going to learn all sorts of good stuff. And it's an intense course. It is not easy. I ask you a lot of questions. Don't expect to just sit there and go, oh yeah, okay. Right? I mean, I ask you specific questions because I really want to make sure that you are understanding what I'm teaching you. So the course does cost $1,750. I think it's worth every single penny. I know you're going to be a much better trader when you are finished. And I think you'll look at the market in a lot of in a different way. And so if that sounds good to you, if you're interested in potentially studying with me one-on-one, just send me an email. The link to my email is in the description. Just say, hey, Greg, interested in potentially taking your one-on-one course. I will reply to you and say, hey, thanks for saying hi. Let's schedule a Skype call so I can get to learn a little bit more about you and your trading. Skype call is totally free. And like I said, I just want to learn more about you and your trading, your challenges, your trading challenges, your trading goals. And then it's a really good time for you to ask me any specific questions about the course. And then when we're done with the Skype call, think about it as long as you want. But if you wake up one morning and go, you know what, I really am ready to improve my trading game, email me, we'll get the course set up and away we will go. Secondly, I do have a really good course available on udemy.com. It's called the Deep Dip by Stock Trading Strategy. It's one of my favorite strategies. I teach you step by step how to trade that. It's only $12 or $15 on udemy.com. The link is in the description of this video. So just click on it. Invest the 12 or the 15 bucks and you're going to be happy that you did. You're going to learn a lot. It's 9.5 hours, 26 videos, 15 study guides. It's a solid course and I've had so many good reviews, so much good feedback on that course. So I'm really sure that you're going to like it. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help to keep the channel around. It helps to build the channel, lets YouTube know that there's some valuable content. And so if you have hit the thumbs up button, thank you very much. I deeply appreciate it. And if you haven't, if you wouldn't mind on the way out, I would really appreciate that as well. All right, so let's go back up and see who did what. Okay, Steve is long SE with a 520 crossover. I like the pullback on that, Steve. And the retest of the moving averages. So Steve is long 275.35. Oh, nice entry. 275.35. Okay, got you down, got you down. LEGR. All right. Steve is long on this one from 42.46. Okay, done and done. Paxton is in SE. I'm going to put DD for dynamic duo. Remember Tracy wanted me to do that? So from now on, everyone, DD means Tracy and Paxton. Easier to type in too. Waterbender says, thank you, Steve, for the great tip to be here today. That's great. 1/2 position on XLU, it looks like, for the dynamic duo. Okay. Price Bender, aka Kamal, says no trades today. Waterbender says, nice name, Price Bender. Johan says, thanks for the session today, Greg and everyone. You are certainly welcome, buddy. Fly safe. Anya says, Trade Navigator Gold. Can I set up charts in gold version and track stocks like you? Platinum is currently 3 times more expensive than the gold. Yeah, I mean, this one is platinum. I think with the gold, Anya, that you are going to have every single thing that you need, honestly. I mean, I think the only thing on the platinum compared to the gold, like a lot of stuff I don't use, but I think this, the what if bar where I can measure RSI and stuff like that, I don't know if that one's available, but honestly, you really don't need it. It's nice to have, but yeah, you can definitely do what you need to do with the gold. I've never had it, but I mean, I've looked at it for students, and yeah, I mean, I don't use 1% of what Trade Navigator offers because I'm pretty basic like that. So yeah, I think you'd be fine with gold. Frank says, no trades, but cash is a position. That is true, Frank. Long, Dr. Elder taught me this. Being short is a position. Being long is a position, but being in cash is also a position. Water says, thank you. I'll be here regularly. Great. Looking forward to it. Ava is in CMI at 240. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here, Ava, is I'm just going to put the price down here. Ava, 240 even. Nice. Nice move. In XLU, that's also Ava. And out of a half position of PD. All right, glad to see that. So you had a half to begin with, so now you're a quarter, if my math's right. Annie says, thank you, Greg. Thank you. Nice seeing you. Appreciate you being here. Let's see what's happening after hours. Anything exciting? VIX is down. SPY's probably up then. Yeah. What about my new XLU? Up 2 pennies. Could be worse. All right. So listen, before I let you go, you know I like to read this every day. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is by Martin Kornfeld. I read it every day, everyone, but I really believe in this statement, and I really like to try to practice it for real in my daily life. I do try to do one random act of kindness daily for a person. I also try to do one random act of kindness daily for an animal if I come across one. I just think it's a good policy, and if we all did this, I think the world would be a better place. And who knows, one day when maybe you need it, someone will come along that either listened to this program or read this somewhere else, and they'll do it for you, and it will bring it full circle. So please remember, let's try to do one random act of kindness every day for a human, and if possible, if at all possible, for an animal as well. Gary has no new trades today either. So everything, well, that's not true. GDX was not up, that was down. And VIX was down, very close to my stop at break even, but still profitable trade because of phasing out. You know I like to phase out, everyone. Trades that go and go and go, you think, why did I ever phase out? But most trades don't do that. So, you know, the nice thing about phasing out, you'll always phase out. It's just part of the structure. You'll always phase out somewhere near the high if that's important to you. But for me, I like to phase out. I like to take some off the table, a portion of my position off the table. It makes it easier for me psychologically to hold the position for a big win. And you need to have those big wins every once in a while to pay for all your little losses. And so it's just something that I use. It's not mandatory, for the way that I trade. It's just an option, but I've been doing it for so long. Steve has a friend, I can't remember his name now, but he calls it regret minimization trade. And that's how I look at it as well. If it goes up and I sell part, I'm happy that it's still up. If it goes up, I've sold half the position and then it comes falling back down, I'm really glad that I phased out at least some profitable levels and I mitigated my position. I mitigated the loss if it comes down because I've already sold half or portion on the way up. So that's why I'm a big fan of phasing out. But again, it's just, what fits your personality, and that fits my personality. Waterbender says, thanks and have a good evening, everyone. You as well. Paxton says, thanks, Greg, Steve, and everyone. Have a great day. You too, Packy. Waterbender says, I love this. Really glad to have you here. Hope to see you back. Thank you, Greg. Have a great day, traders. I think I already read that one. And let's see. Oy vey. All right, does anyone have any other comments or questions or anything I can help them with? I'm happy to do so. Ava says, thank you, Greg, and all. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow as well, Ava. Looking forward to our next lesson, by the way. All right, so we got some new blood on there. We got LEGR. I've never seen that before, so that should be interesting. All right, well, I'll just leave you off with this. Have a good rest of your day. Be good, be safe, drive safe. Keep your hands at 10 and 2. Look both ways. Look left, right, and then left again. I think that's how you're supposed to drive. Be nice to each other. Do something nice for someone today. Do something nice for an animal as well. Right? If you could hit the thumbs up button on the way out. If you haven't, if you forgot, this is your reminder. I would appreciate that. And I think that's about all there is for today, everyone. So thanks for coming. Hope to see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. And on the way out here, I have to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. And Michael Lovis says, thank you, Greg. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, bud. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit, No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.